right, guys, it's the first episode of the Panelist podcast. I'm going to go and get started. I'm the host for this episode. We'll be changing one out every single episode. My socials are clearwatercomics. I only have a TikTok, but this podcast will also be on the Panelist YouTube channel. So to start off, I have a series of questions for everybody to go through just for introductions. And right now, I'm currently reading Hellblazer: Death in America. It's my first John Constantine comic. I'm really excited about it, and I'm just slowly getting through that. I usually side more towards DC in terms of publishers. I'm open to everything, but that's just who I'm partial to. Trying to get more accustomed to Image right now as well. Got some Spawn pickups this week that I'm looking forward to read. And then my favorite characters are Deathstroke and Nightwing. One of those is very important for one of my pickups this week. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So, White and Nerdy, if you want to take the mantle for a second, you're welcome to go get it.
Got you. So my socials for TikTok and like the comic stuff in general is just I'm so white and nerdy on TikTok. What am I currently reading? Just got done reading, pretty much everything that came out last week. But something that I'm like just pushing through is the current Fantastic Four run. Really behind on that shit, but we catching up. My favorite comic book characters, I really rock with pretty much all the Green Lanterns and Green Arrow. Those are like my top two. Characters like Constantine and Swamp Thing, they're up there for me as well. My favorite publisher, obviously DC. Marvel cool, but like they're just one big continuity mess that I just can't rock with. And they do Spider-Man so dirty. It's just like Marvel just kind of mid at this point. BSolo, you got this shit.
All right. BSoloBooks on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. BSolo86 on Twitch. Currently reading a little bit of everything. I am waiting on issue 13 of Geiger. So I guess that would be what I'm like catching up on them. I got 10 through 15 pending, and then Hornsby and Halo, I'm waiting on issue 3, and then I'll be catching up 100% on that as well. So a lot of Ghost Machine, which to kind of bleed into the next, what's my favorite publisher? Image. Me being relatively new, Marvel and DC have been going on forever, so trying to catch up with that stuff is kind of hard for a newer person. And Image has a lot of new shit going on right now, so Image is definitely standing out to me. But my favorite comic book characters are all Marvel characters. Blade and Hulk are probably tied for number 1, and then Namor is like my number 3 guy, I guess. I know that gets a lot of heat. It is what it is. And then I'm a veteran, a dad, and a washed-up streamer. Caleb, we'll go with you, dude. You're next, man.
Right on. So my socials on TikTok, that's where I'm primarily posting, is firelordcaleb, and then I've also got Caleb Nephilim on YouTube. And for what I'm currently reading, I finally got my Transformers Volume 3 in the mail, so I'm finally reading that, and then I'm gonna jump into the single issues that I've been waiting to catch back up on that. I'd say my favorite characters right now are, since I started reading comics, I'd say Daredevil, and then since I was a kid, Nightwing. Fun fact, my kid's name is Grayson. My publisher that I prefer, I'd say kind of like what y'all have been kind of already bringing up. It's kind of hard for me to really jump into a lot of like Marvel or DC, especially some that are like 50 issues out. So I've definitely been leaning a lot more towards Image Comics. I'm about to kick off a little Power Rangers tournament with a couple mutuals. Go week by week and start facing off some of the Rangers against each other. And we'll end it off with good old Tirus.
All right. My socials. It's just Tirus.comics on TikTok, and then Tirus Likes Comics on Instagram. And then what I'm reading Batman Dark Knight Returns for the first time. It's been really solid so far. And then also I was waiting for all the issues of Daredevil Unleash Hell to come out, the Red Band one. And so that I just got the final issue like last week or whatever, and so now I'm reading that. It's pretty good. So yeah, and then favorite comic characters. I'm obviously a huge Spider-Man guy, huge Batman guy. But those are two basic, so I'll give some other ones. I love Nova. I think he is so cool. And then same with Green Lantern, but they're kind of similar, so I think that's why I like them both so much. But yeah, those are my favorite characters. Favorite publisher. Um, I don't know if I have a favorite. I think I just have favorite like runs that they do every once in a while, and sometimes I like Marvel more, sometimes I like DC more, sometimes I'm really digging Image. So it really just depends. But right now I probably pick up more Marvel books right now, but I used to pick up more DC. Um, so yeah, and then something about me. Um, I don't know. I've been making all sorts of different like content since I was in like fifth grade, um, and big into movies, of course. Got a big ass shelf behind me, and oh, I make music a little bit. It's been a while, but got some stuff like released and out. So yeah, so check that out. It's Tyrus period on Spotify and all platforms. So yeah.
Okay, pretty solid, pretty solid. So we got a few talking points that we're gonna hit on, but real quick, I'm gonna go back through because I know each of us has something that's going on right now that I kind of want to discuss for each one respectively. So first off, I'm gonna go back to B Solo, and there's a particular comic book series that I know that is currently ongoing that you're very passionate about. Would you care to share your thoughts on this particular series?
Bug Wars, baby. I feel like I'm trying to be Bug Wars' biggest hype man on TikTok. Anytime, like, you know, I try to watch as much other content as possible. It's not just me pushing out my content. And anytime I go to somebody's upload or, you know, whatever platform it's on, and I see that they even have a Bug Wars reference, you know, I gotta give a shout out to them. But yeah, that comic book, man, it just really grabbed my attention because I'm an adult. I'm definitely the oldest one in here by a lot. And Bug Wars is very mature. It has, you know, a little bit of everything. It has, you know, a lot of cursing, a lot of mature adult references and images that, you know, and a lot of people, they put MA because it's gory and stuff like that. Bug Wars is gory, but it also has like a little bit of TNA in there. And like the thing that I don't remember what issue it is, but there's a reference where they're, you know, the whole concept of the book is like these little people get shrunk down and they're living amongst the bugs in someone's backyard, and this little hateful teenager likes to run over them with a lawnmower, and they call it like the big storm, you know. And all the bugs and the mites are what the little people are called. They're like references like the end of the world, you know. Imagine crazy people in real world. They're like the tinfoil hat wearing people in Bug Wars, and they've like got this beetle that everybody's riding on, and they're like having a huge orgy going across the backyard on the back of this beetle. And after I read that, dude, I was just like, there's nothing better in comic books right now. Like,
That's the breaking point. That's the standard.
dude, I had to have it. I need more bug riding orgies, man. That's
It's an interesting standard.
yeah. It's
Well, I know I've seen you talk about it a lot, and I haven't had the opportunity to read any yet. I feel like I have to pick up an issue since seeing you talk about it so much. But I need to know your thoughts on it. How long is the run going to go for?
There's only 6 announced. I'm hoping it doesn't stop at 6. I haven't really done my research to see if they're gonna keep going past 6, but after 5, there's not really like it doesn't feel like 6 is gonna be enough after 5. Like it's one of the,
I didn't know it was gonna be that short. That's lame.
Yeah.
I hope they keep going because I'm really loving that series too. So
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
and it doesn't just like, you know, normally like so like what is it? The Moon is Following Us. It was only a 10 issue run. At the end of 9, you knew 10 was going to be the last one. So after reading Bug Wars issue 5 and only 6 are announced, 5 didn't feel like 6 is going to be enough. So hopefully he keeps going with them.
Yeah.
I've
I mean-
been reading Bug Wars, so I can't even speak on it.
What? You were muted. What? I didn't hear you. I'm gonna edit that out of the freaking.
Yeah, I've had issue 1 sitting on my 2B red stack for like a month now, and every time I get to it, I just move it down.
You got to get to it, man. It's so good.
It's
You
so
know,
I
good.
only
It's,
have
It
issue
really
1.
is that good.
I'm gonna take
It's
swamp.
Jason
only
Aaron.
issue 1. I don't feel like reading it if I have other things that I can like finish the run on.
I'm gonna take
Nah,
Swamp
I
Thing
do
out
that.
back and burn it.
Once I find the rest of the run, I'll get on it for sure.
I thought you said you came across them at McKay's and then you chose not to buy them.
Yeah, because I found other stuff that I could finish runs on.
That
Fair
hurt-
enough. You
that
got to get on
hurts.
that, though. It's so good.
Well, while emotions are high, I'm going to take it over to Caleb, who you have had some particularly strong words about a particular. What was it? A comic shop, or was it a
I think
what was
they've
the
got like
situation happening?
they've got a local comic shop down in Los Angeles, but then they also do online comic book shopping.
Okay.
And so yeah, after White and Nerdy got me into the Transformers run, I was talking about trying to go cover for cover with him. So I was like, oh, I wonder what cool covers might be online for the new Volume 3, especially because since I started using Comic Geeks, it felt like the more I was going to a couple of my LCSs, I'd ask them about stuff I saw that was supposed to be coming out on New Comic Book Day, and they'd be like, oh no, we just didn't order any of that. So I was also like losing a little bit of confidence that like they would have what I wanted the day it came out. So I ordered Volume 3 on Golden Apple Comics website because I used them for the Battle Beast blind bags. Everything went smoothly with those, but funny enough, a few days later, I went into my LCS and they had the same exact cover of the Volume 3 that I ordered online. So I was like, well, why wait for shipping? You know, like it's right here, but might as well like actually confirm that I can cancel the order before I buy it in person, so I don't just have 2 Volume 3s. So I tried to call the store, and they told me that the warehouse works differently than the comic shop, and I need to email the warehouse and not like talk to the comic store itself. So they gave me the email. I emailed them and was like, I kind of just said exactly what I said here, like, hey, my comic shop has it physically, and like, why wait to get caught up on the run? I'd love to cancel the order if I can. And then I put like my order confirmation. And the only thing that was really irritating me with them is anytime they would reply, they wouldn't even actually like reply to what I'm saying. They would just reply with whatever they felt like saying. So they never even like replied with like a yes or a no exactly on if I could cancel the order. They just emailed me and said, please wait 1 to 3 weeks.
It's because you were
So-
talking to an AI.
That's what Blue Jack kept telling me, man. And so I was like, okay, I'll wait. And then it didn't even like realize in my head how long it had really been waiting on it until White and Nerdy and Blue Jack kept making fun of me. And they were like, hey, you could have read it by now. You could have read it by now. So then I finally, like, it clicked in my mind. I was like, it's been damn near a month. So I emailed them again and was like, hey, you know, it's been so long. Like, just straight up cancel the order at this point or refund it and still send it to me because of how long it's been. And once again, they replied back to me, like, the next day. And they were like, oh, hey, we're shipping it out today. And so, like, once again, they just didn't reply to me with what I was looking for. And so I was like, kind of like they were telling me, like, you're dealing with AI. So I was like, I'll call the store then. And so I called the store, and they hit me with, oh, dude, you placed that back on the 25th? You should have called us. I was like, I called you first. What? So, yeah, I finally have it. I got it
That is so
Friday.
annoying.
I got it Friday finally, and I've been reading it like crazy. I think I'm about already like halfway or 3/4, but it's been a lot of fun. But yeah, that was definitely a very frustrating interaction and just not great customer service. So I'm blasting them.
Have you,
Yeah,
Big old
that
fried
sucks.
golden apple.
have they responded to any of your videos?
So much.
No, they haven't. They haven't seen any of them. I don't think. But I'm commenting on theirs.
Dude,
You just keep standing strong.
if I was a outlet of, if I was selling anything and I had a customer as angry as you to the point where they're making videos that are getting hundreds of views, you know, like the comic book community isn't like the biggest in the world, but it's a solid size, and a lot of people are seeing you be like, yo, fuck big, you know, their company, as that company, I would definitely be like, yo, how can we make this up to you? Or at least go to your video and be like, do something, dude. Like, for your struggles, we're gonna send you like 5 new comic books, and they could pull them out of the dollar bin, but some kind of gesture, dude.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also funny that you say that too, because my first little story time I did before I even started bashing them was just to be like, hey, this is what I'm dealing with, and I'm also linking your TikTok to my video so that you can hopefully get back to me here as well. And that got like 1,000 views, and they still didn't do anything. And then that was when I finally got the replies of like, oh, hey, we're shipping it out. But then it was still getting frustrating because they'd say we shipped it out today, and then I would check the USPS tracking, and it would say on USPS's end that they were waiting for the item. So I was like, how have you shipped it out if they don't have the item?
Yeah, that's wild, man.
Wow. But yeah, F Golden Apple Comics.
Fucking say no more. Well, Tirus, I know that you brought up that you're not just a comic guy, you're also a film guy. I am also a film guy. I don't know if you can see my posters, and my sleeve that I have will end up being a full film sleeve. So I'm very much interested in this conversation. So you said, I believe that you're trying to collect all comic book movies. You want to speak a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I'll grab a quick
Okay,
stack.
go ahead.
So this is just a section of the MCU. Oh god. So we got like Iron Man 3 through Shang-Chi, which I just got Shang-Chi yesterday. So yeah, but so I'm trying to collect every MCU movie, every DCEU movie, every like Elseworlds DC movie. So like just the one-off like Superman or Batman movies. And yeah, it's going pretty well. I've got probably 70% of the MCU, and then I've got all of the DCEU except for the newest Aquaman movie. And yeah, it's been going great. I think my favorite is probably The Batman. I think that is probably maybe the best comic book movie of all time, maybe. I have it over The Dark Knight. I think Dark Knight is heavily overrated. I'm so sorry, but it's still like great poster. It's still like a 9 out of 10 movie, The Dark Knight, but The Batman's a 10, and people need to stop overhyping The Dark Knight. So that's my hot take.
See, I don't even think it's crazy that you say that. I think The Dark Knight, which we can get into a whole debate about this if y'all want. I think The Dark Knight is so heavily carried by the villains, which I think the whole Nolan trilogy is carried by the villains. And I'm a huge Batman fan. Let me be very clear, okay? But I do think the villains carry that whole series. And I do not think, and look, this is no disrespect to anybody at all, because Heath Ledger gave a phenomenal performance. But that movie would not be near as successful as it is or critically acclaimed had Heath Ledger not died. And I think it's terrible that now we have this standard set that like Joaquin Phoenix in 2019 killed it in that movie, and it's like, oh, but he's not Heath Ledger, so it's dog shit. And it's like that's such a fucking crazy idea to say.
I agree. Honestly, I might have Joaquin Phoenix Joker. I don't know if I even agree with this, but I'm just gonna say it. I might have him over Heath Ledger's Joker. Maybe not in terms of like how they depicted the character. I think Heath Ledger's is a bit more comic accurate, like right. Of course, but I think just personal preference. Like I think that the Joker movie is just so good, and Joaquin Phoenix is one of my favorite actors, and so I just love it. He's great as that character.
I gotta say, I've just fallen in love with the both of you.
Good deal.
I was saying exactly bar for bar, word for word, what both of you just said about The Dark Knight on a live a few weeks ago, and I got flamed, especially when I brought up your last point, Clearwater, about like it wouldn't be as hyped as it would be if not for Heath Ledger's passing. And the second I said that, the entire live was just like, what?
Yeah, well, I could get like people getting defensive over that, and like by all means, Heath Ledger was a fantastic actor. Okay, by all means, and his death is a fucking tragedy. But it's like the Nirvana situation where I absolutely fucking love Nirvana. Okay, I mean obviously I love the Batman movie, but listen. Okay, I love Nirvana, but they would not be as popular as they are had Kurt Cobain not died, especially not the way that he died, and that's just what it is. And I think it is. I think a person is oblivious if they don't acknowledge that. And then
When
again,
are
that is
we
not
gonna
taking
admit
away.
that Batman is mid?
All right, see,
Yeah.
When
look,
are we
we'll
gonna
get to you
admit
in a
that?
second. We'll get to you in a second.
You said Batman is mid?
Yeah, dude,
Yes.
he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's
Okay,
deranged.
no, we
He's
will.
deranged.
We
Yeah.
have to talk about that.
I think there's
We'll talk about that in a second.
I think there's 2 points you have to bring up. I think everything you guys are saying, I disagree, but I don't disagree. Like, I think you guys are fed up with the fans that repeat the same every time that argument comes up. The fans, and it's generally not like comic book fans. It's just like movie fans, maybe Heath Ledger fans that argue that Heath Ledger's Joker wasn't the best, and maybe you're just getting fed up with hearing the same narrative on a loop. But
Well, I think. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, finish.
I mean that's. I think Heath Ledger's Joker was the best Joker. But as a person, like music, right? I love music, but there's songs that I can't listen to, and it has nothing to do with the song. It's more to do with the fans and the fact that radio stations played it 100 times a day for the first 2 months it was out.
That's a fair point, actually. Yeah.
That is fair.
And
I think with me and sorry.
No, I was gonna say, and y'all said that, you know, Batman, you know, at one point you even said it that the one movie was carried by the villains. The whole Batman franchise is carried by the villains. Batman has the best villains. If Batman had the same villains that I don't know, you know, the D-list superhero had, Batman wouldn't be in anybody's top 10.
So I'm going to disagree with that completely. Okay, now look.
No,
listen,
that's
okay?
so valid.
No, listen. Okay, look. Okay, Batman 100% has the best written rogues gallery. I'm not saying the best rogues gallery because I think, like, in terms of just character development, I think Spider-Man probably does in that argument. But Batman's villains are so much better written in the sense because they're so humanized. And Batman, what makes him such a fucking great character is the fact that he genuinely wants to cure his villains. Now, the only one in that discussion I don't believe could be cured is Joker, and that's even up for debate because the White Knight series. But Batman is such an emotionally driven character. Look at his relationship with Dick Grayson, with Jason Todd, with Tim, and like his relationship with the Robins, his relationship with Alfred. Everything about this character is so human that the connection there is just it's fucking phenomenal. Okay, and I don't know if you're reading the Absolute series right now. That really hammers in that fact because I know it's a spin on it with him being best friends with his rogues, but he I don't know if you've ever looked at how he talks to Killer Croc. He refers to him as Waylon Jones. And in the Hush comic, they shake hands, and Waylon's like, "Thank you for always calling me Waylon." And I want to cry thinking about that because you got this guy that has a genetic mutation that makes him look like a crocodile. He's been seen as a monster his entire life, and Batman still looks at him as a human.
But how many people has Batman indirectly killed by not offing Joker?
Dog. This discussion makes no sense because it's a part of Batman's character. Okay, 100%. We're discussing a fictional
lethal injection exists. All Batman has to do is make sure that he gets the lethal injection. Like, what are we talking about? Batman doesn't have to kill him. Batman just has to make sure he dies.
Hey,
what about Spider-Man?
There's a difference.
He's not offing his villains.
What superhero is offing their villains?
Punisher.
Yeah, well, he's not a superhero.
He's an anti-hero.
Right.
What superhero is? I mean, if we're gonna bring up that Batman cares about his people and he's not offing them, what superhero is killing them? If we're comparing,
you don't gotta kill all of them. You just gotta kill the ones like Zod and Joker, like the real and like if you can find a way to kill Vandal Savage, you kill Vandal Savage. But like you're not over here killing Captain Cold.
Has Spider-Man ever killed Cletus?
What?
Again.
Has Spider-Man ever killed Cletus?
I don't read Spider-Man.
That's Carnage.
Yeah, again, look, all I'm saying is I think that argument, which again, if it was a real world, yes, Joker would need to be put to death. Okay, but the thing with Joker and Batman is they're complete antithesis of each other. Now, what I will say is I'm so fucking tired of Joker being the only villain that gets any fucking light. Okay, Bane would be a way better rival, all right? Bane is the perfect rival for Bruce Wayne, and it pisses me off that we continue this shit with Joker. But I think that I think Joker needs to die from like some horrible disease, and he just dies, and that's it. Okay, and then we just move on. I think that's what needs to happen. Okay, maybe like a cult follows of him. I don't know, but
Also,
get rid of him.
you say that Batman, and of course this isn't a comic book moment, but that he doesn't indirectly not being responsible for it off his villains. Did you play Arkham City?
No, dude.
He
Yeah.
decided to.
You know I don't like Batman. Why would I play Batman stuff?
Because you were like 10 when that came out. So what?
And I was too busy practicing guitar and drums and not
All
wasting time on a video game.
That's fair.
Fair enough.
Joker had a sickness that he put some of his sickness inside of Bruce to try to be like,
and
now
then he dies, and then the next game opens up with him on the cremation table.
yeah, he died because Bruce just decided to drop the antidote and crush it.
Okay, see, they need to do that in the comics.
I
Do
think
something
Joker
like
just needs to
that.
die together. I just don't think Batman needs to be the one to kill him. I think like the thing about Batman is the fact that he saw that murder so young, it triggered something in his brain to where like even if he wanted to, because he wants to, he does. All right, he has that darkness in him, okay, but he physically cannot do it. He like again, if he had a gun in his hand, his mind would not be able to pull the trigger because
He's got a Jason. He's got Jason. Let Jason do it.
Dude, no, don't let Jason do it, okay? 'Cause
Let Jason do it.
Let Jason be
Jason
happy.
deserves his get back.
He does, okay? I'm
Clearwater,
really tired of the shit they're writing.
I agree with you, Clearwater, but in Hush 2, Batman
I don't want
pulls
to
the
talk about
trigger.
that shit. I don't want to
No,
talk
we have
about
to talk about that.
No,
In Hush
so
2,
bad.
I don't disagree with you, but he pulls the trigger on Jason.
I know, he straight up
right to his
shoots him.
face.
Oh, dude, I fucking know. It's so bad. And Jeff Loeb needs to put the pen down, okay? I can't believe. All right, because Jeff Loeb wrote that shit and then Jim Lee drew it. What the fuck?
I thought he didn't know that it was like Jason though in this
Well,
storyline.
Yeah, he thought it was Clayface, but it doesn't matter. Like, he still got a gun pointed at someone that was identical to Jason because it was Jason and shot him. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Look, I'm not gonna sit here and say that they don't write Batman doing some stupid shit, okay? Because they do. But, oh man. All right. Anyway,
He's doing what White and Nerdy wants. He's starting off.
And like Batman could just unleash the Zur and R entity and just let that one take over and kill the Joker.
he let Azrael take the Batman. He could let Azrael just take the Batman.
like
and then,
Bruce,
it's all
Bruce
good.
and Joker, they both need to just retire and move on.
Yeah.
Let's age up Damian, make him the Batman.
Yeah, see,
and
this
all
is
will be
bullshit.
right in the world.
Fuck Damien. Tired of this shit. All right. We're moving on from the Batman discussion, okay? But White and Nerdy, while you're getting your fucking highlight of bullshit, okay, I gotta ask you a very important question. So there's a particular character that is going to make their first live stream appearance, correct? Am I tripping on that?
Yeah.
I believe it's his first live stream appearance. Yeah. In the new Superman movie. How do you feel about Guy Gardner finally getting his time to shine?
Oh, I'm fucking so excited, bro. And they couldn't have picked a better actor to play Guy Gardner. Nathan Fillion's been Green Arrow in like pretty much every DC animated, or not Green Arrow, Jesus Christ, Green Lantern in every DC animated movie there's been. Like all the DC AMU stuff with the New 52. He was Hal Jordan and all that. So he understands like what the role takes. And then for him to just be an asshole with Guy Gardner is like, that's just peak. And like, we got to trust James Gunn. Like, we saw what he did with Peacemaker and, you know, all the Suicide Squad characters. Like, he's turning characters that people generally hate into like fan favorites. And he's going to do that with Guy Gardner. And all the Guy Gardner hate's going to stop. And I'm going to be king. It's going to be great. I'm leading the revolution on the Guy Gardner hate.
We can all say that you did like it before it was cool. We can all agree on that. Look, I'm honestly so excited to see a Green Lantern in live action. Now we got the little split second in the Zack Snyder cut for Justice League, but that shit don't count. I'm so excited that we're getting to see a Green Lantern. I'm also very excited about the show, and we can talk about that in a second if you want to. What I was going to ask you is, now I'm seeing some polarizing opinions on his suit design and his haircut. How do you feel as an actual Guy Gardner fan about the way that he looks in the movie?
Well, I mean, his suit is probably the Lord suit, and he's probably getting a new one eventually. So I don't really have a problem with that. But they better give him, you know, the best and everything at some point. And his hair's fine. I don't understand why people are bitching about the hair. He's got the bowl cut. It's not like ginger, but it is what it is. Like, it's a fucking wig. Like, let's move on.
Yeah. I mean, I've even seen some people like go as far as to bitch about the ring design, and again, I'm not as heavy into Green Lantern as you are. I've read Blackest Night and the Sinestro Corps War, but that's it in terms of just Green Lantern specific comics.
Did you guys hear about the stuff on Twitter where they were bitching about like the constructs themselves, and they were saying that the constructs have to be attached to the ring?
Yeah, that shit's so stupid.
Yeah, I was like, the Zack Snyder people just outing themselves that they don't even read the source material.
Look, I really enjoyed the Snyder cut, but there's a lot of shit in the Snyderverse that I was not a fan of, and I'm not going to get into all of that, okay? Because that'll take way too long. We can have a whole episode about that if y'all want later.
I had a question for you about that real quick.
Yeah,
How do you feel about them teasing Deathstroke and then doing nothing with him?
So dog. Let me just look. I'm gonna give y'all some background here because I feel like I'm gonna end up having to justify myself.
You're gonna have to justify it after what I'm about to say.
Yeah, okay. Now look. All right. Look. Okay. I have the new Titans issue for a very specific reason. Okay. So let me give some background. I've liked Deathstroke since I was 9 years old because my brother had told me Injustice 1 had just came out. My brother had told me that this guy named Deathstroke was a Marine. He lied. He was confused. But the reason why it was important is my dad was a Marine. So I automatically had that attachment to him because I automatically associated him with my dad, which is really bad later on. But again, that was just the childhood attachment there. And I thought he was so fucking cool. And again, I fucking loved Deathstroke from 9 years old up until I started getting into actually getting into comics. Because he was in Injustice 1, and then I saw him in a few other shows. He was in the Titans TV show, and he was in some animated projects. Thought he was so fucking cool. And then the Deathstroke Knights and Dragons came out, and that was really cool. Then Arkham Origins, all this other shit, right? Okay. So before we get into anything else you're going to bring up, the Zack Snyder cut showing Deathstroke was so fucking comic accurate. That is probably one of the best suit designs I've ever seen for a comic character in a movie. And the casting was fantastic. The fucking hair, the goatee, everything was so on point. Just for nothing to fucking happen, I'm going to commit an act of terror in Minecraft. That's what I'm going to do. And then I don't know if y'all know what the Bat Flick movie was going to be, where it was the Ben Affleck standalone Batman movie. That plot line, dude, I would have paid I don't even like Bat Flick because of his fucking comic suit, his suit. Okay, I don't like the Dark Knight Returns. It's a whole other discussion. I really don't. We can talk about that another day. But dude,
that's
that
crazy.
Movie would have been. Look, I've heard it's a wild take, but it's okay. Dude, that movie would have been so good. A cat and mouse game where Deathstroke is ruining Batman's life from the inside out, fucking him up in every physical encounter that he has to has to get Batgirl on board to help him fight him. Dude, cinema. It doesn't get better than this. Okay, it really doesn't. But it just was what it was.
Why?
So how do you feel about the Judas contract?
All right, this is some bullshit. Okay, so what I feel about the Judas contract, the 80s were apparently a very weird time. Hal Jordan had that relationship with that 16-year-old girl. I fucking love Watchmen. It's my favorite comic book of all time. But Dr. Manhattan having that relationship, and the thing about the Dr. Manhattan situation, has everyone here read Watchmen and know what I'm talking about?
I've only seen the movie.
Yeah, I watched the movie.
Y'all still get the idea, okay? Because the movie does a really good job of communicating as well. The whole point of Manhattan getting with her was to show that he was out of touch, and the fact that his wife was getting older, he didn't like that, so he went for a younger girl. Okay, which there's more philosophical point to it as well, but that's like the key thing you're supposed to take away from it. Okay, the thing about that is you could have had her being a younger girl and her be 21. You could have had her 25, and it still would have got the same point across. But for some reason, they wrote her as 16. The Judas contract with Tara, you could have got the same fucking point if she was 19 to 21. It doesn't matter. Okay, and it makes no sense to me why Marv Wolfman and George Perez were like, hey, this is okay, let's write this. And then they go back and say, he wasn't even attracted to her. It was all manipulation. She was the seductress. She is the villain here. What the fuck were they writing in the 80s? Okay,
That's
what is
crazy
this
narrative to push. That is insane.
And the thing is, they still do it in the Judas Contract animated movie. They're all up on each other. It keeps coming back. It's a core part of Deathstroke's character at this point. It is what it is.
No, you can't say that. They're literally just doing an animated version.
Well, no, they brought it back up in Christopher Freeze. They brought it back up in Christopher Freeze's 2016 run, But look, here's the
Yep.
thing about this, okay? So Christopher Priest, which also, again, he pushes the same narrative. Like, he was asked about it in an interview, and he was like, guys, Tara is the villain here. Deathstroke was just, and it's like, what the fuck do you mean? You have a 16-year-old girl as your villain because she is seducing an old man? What? All right.
Uh-oh.
How dare her?
Look, here's my thing. Okay, my thing and my whole idea of it is, all right, by no means do I support these actions. I just fucking think he's a badass. I think the writers are weird for it because the thing about Deathstroke is it doesn't make sense for his character at all for any of this to happen because that's the only person this happens with. He doesn't even have any other sexual relationship. They mentioned something with Talia al Ghul, but that is just like a nod at Batman saying like, hey, I also slept with her. So like nothing else is brought about him in any of his sexual relationships. It's just her. And it makes no sense to continue bringing this up because DC retconned it during Infinite Earths. They kind of got rid of the whole story. It got brought back up in the animated movie, and then Christopher Priest was like, you know what? Let's bring this chick back up. Let's have a nod back to it. And then like he made Deathstroke say that you're barely even 16, and then all for there to be a joke later on in the comic for her to be in a bed saying, "Hey, quickie, real quick, I'm legal now." Like it applies nothing to the story. She doesn't have a complex later on that to communicate how she was taken advantage of. Nothing matters. It literally, and then they just kill her. They kill her. Like it makes no fucking sense for them to do this.
That's very
And
Hollywood.
they just
So how much we want to bet that they bring it back up in the Titans run?
so. This is a good segue. One of my pickups this week was Titans number 24, and I don't know if y'all see who that is. That is Tara.
They're
Deathstroke is
also
the
bringing
main
Deathstroke
villain.
back.
Yeah, Deathstroke is the main villain, and I look, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and say it now. I have loved him since I was a kid, and I've found a way to defend him at every point up until now. If they bring this shit back again, which she's old now. She's not old. She's in her 20s now. So I mean, it's legal, but it's still fucking weird. Okay, I don't get it. I don't understand why they keep doing this fucking bullshit. It makes me so upset because again, why can't you just evolve the character? The whole reason why he was fighting the Titans is because he blamed his son's death on them. Just make him a Nightwing villain or make him a Batman villain. Just move on. I don't know why we keep this bullshit up because it makes no fucking sense. Because again, if you were actually having a Deathstroke on par with what he actually is, he's fucking the Titans up. Okay, Raven might have a chance. She does. I'm not oblivious. She has a chance. Okay, but that's it. And I
will give Deathstroke his credit. Have you guys all read the Jeff Johns Teen Titans run?
I haven't read any Teen Titans.
Oh man.
I know.
Oh, then I'm just not going to say what I'm going to say then. It's
No,
one of
no,
the
no,
coldest.
Identity
It's one of
Crisis?
the coldest moments in Volume 1.
Have y'all read Identity Crisis?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as a preface to those that haven't, Deathstroke whoops up on its, which this doesn't make sense. Okay, like it would not have happened, but this just shows you how writers do shit. It's Deathstroke versus Green Arrow, Kyle Rayner, Hawkman, Zatanna, and Wally West, and then the Atom. That's everybody, I think. And he destroys them, like absolutely demolishes every single one of them. The whole thing is though, like that would not have happened with Kyle. The way that he beats Wally is he sets these mines up so that whenever Wally runs, he knows that he's going to have to make these certain turns, and he waits for Wally to get to a certain point and then stabs him in the stomach. It really shows his battle IQ. The way they take on the Atom is really cool. I highly recommend reading Identity Crisis. But again, the thing is though, like as a writer that Kyle Rayner, all this get in the air, construct, hold them down, and then Deathstroke's done. Like that's it. It's over. So it just shows how writers work, and that's like I don't know if y'all watched the Batman and Robin animated movie. Damian Wayne whoops up on Deathstroke the entire movie, and it's like you're talking about a 12-year-old kid who's beating the guy who could beat the brakes off his dad on a good encounter. Like it just the writers just kill me sometimes. So
Damian whooped up on him with a broken arm and a broken leg.
It's bullshit. That would not happen. Okay, you're telling me the guy that can be on par with Batman, sometimes beating him, and also be on par with Dick Grayson, is losing to Damian? No, that's fucking stupid. That's not happening.
I mean, are we gonna talk about the fight between Damian and Dick?
Again,
Dick
How he got roped up?
Dick had all those scratches and wounds on him, and Damian was untouched.
Are you really gonna compare how like a 20-something-year-old man tried to take down a 12-year-old?
Yeah, I know.
Look, all I'm saying, it makes no sense. Okay, it really doesn't. All right, because I don't know if you, all right. Look, how about this? This is a better argument. Batman versus Robin. Whenever Bruce stops holding back, okay, beats the shit out of Damian. All right, which makes sense. He fucking should. He should. Okay, but my point is, Deathstroke can hold his own against Batman. And you're gonna tell me that this guy that just beat the shit
to kill Deathstroke after what Deathstroke did to his grandfather and his mom, like you're talking about a different Damian at that point.
Nah, fuck it. All right, that's enough of that shit, though. Yeah, look, basically saying that nothing happened in this issue that was weird or creepy, but if anything does happen, I'm just going to have to find a different fucking favorite character. I'm getting tired of this shit. But I will say, let me make a point very clear right fucking now. I want this same energy held for anybody that says they're a fan of the Joker, okay? Because he went and abused Barbara Gordon after paralyzing her. And we're all like, oh, he's a great villain. No, he's fucking not.
Yeah, and Batman didn't get his get back. That's some lame ass shit, Batman. If one of my girls got done like that, whoever did that's dead immediately.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's kind of left up to interpretation of whether or not Batman killed him at the end of that comic or not. But again, it's not it became main continuity, so he didn't. But Alan Moore wanted to be ambiguous on which one killed the other at the end of it.
I need at least one instance in comics. It doesn't have to be canon or not, where Batman just like actually kills the Joker.
Injustice.
Batman doesn't kill the Joker.
In a dream where Superman sees an alternate reality, Batman does kill the Joker after the nuke in Metropolis.
Oh, word! I haven't read all.
It's a really emotional moment that like it brought me to tears because of like the interaction between Superman and Batman when it happens. But yeah, Batman's literally, he's driving him to GCPD, and then he just turns because Joker's making a joke about the situation and just snaps his neck. Like no emotion, nothing happens. He just ripped. Like you got to look it up, man. It's a wicked issue.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of Injustice. I'm not gonna lie.
I love it. I love Injustice. It has its problems for sure, but I love Tom Taylor.
I don't like the whole evil Superman thing.
Yeah, I'm definitely tired of that fucking trope, but I think they handled it. Kingdom Come did it better, which he wasn't really evil Superman in that. He was just more like, hey, let's figure this out. But I think Injustice I still enjoy reading a lot. There's a lot of shit that happens both ways though between Batman and Superman that I'm like, how do they not realize that they're both villains in this? They're both doing bad things. So now that I'm done being fired up over the Deathstroke slander, which is very reasonable slander, but guys, come on, give me a break. He's a villain, okay? The writers are definitely the real villains in this situation. The next talking point that I had was on the DC and Marvel collabs, which to make sure everybody knows what I'm talking about, everybody's up to speed on what's happening. Yeah. How are we feeling?
Man,
I couldn't care less about the Batman and Deadpool one.
This motherfucker.
You a Batman hater.
Jeff and Crypto is gonna be fire, and Green Arrow and fucking Christ, Daredevil. That's just gonna be cool too.
Yeah.
Crypto and Jeff is gonna be mid.
All right, now you're tripping. That's some bullshit.
That's
okay.
like
I'm not tripping. Hold on.
That's like the only one I'm hyped on, man.
He didn't like the Crypto issue 1.
You didn't like the Crypto?
No.
You didn't rock with this?
It didn't blow my pants away like other comics have been, but I was like, it's all right.
Caleb also doesn't read Superman, so he just wouldn't get it.
Are you a dog lover?
I'm sad.
Like, do you like dogs or?
Yeah, you got 2 issues of the new run. Cool.
Dude,
you're not on the current Superman run, and you don't like Absolute Superman, so don't pull that out.
You don't
what
like
else
Absolute Superman? What the shit? Oh, you said All-Star. Good book.
Yeah, you got like the basic of Superman.
Yeah, I'm new on Superman too, but Superman Unlimited 1 and 2 is pretty solid so far. And I'm digging it. That's been my exposure to Superman, so it's very, very limited. But Crypto, I really like Crypto. I kind of developed like watching. I was just putting myself in the parents' perspective, right, where they send their dog off trying to make sure they're able to save people, and then they lose their dog to something, and then it's just like I don't know, it's like emotional for me because I consider my dogs like part of the family. So I could only imagine losing a dog like that. That would crush me, especially in an emotional moment where they're in, where they're like, our world is ending, and then on top of that, they lose their dog a year before it's expected to die. Like, damn.
Bro,
And
yeah,
there's
nah,
the dialogue too.
And then Crypto showing up to Earth, and he runs into Lex Luthor instead of Superman. That shit was cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with it. Yeah, Caleb, dude. That's all I gotta say. What do you mean, dude?
Boo that man.
It just
That's
didn't blow my socks off, and that's what I'm
Tyrus, did you
spending
read
money
it?
for.
I didn't even pick it up.
Oh,
What?
What the
Oh.
fuck?
I know. I'm sorry. I didn't. To me, it wasn't. It's just not something I care about.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Look,
What about
y'all
this?
don't understand.
Did y'all
pick that up
pick
either.
up?
That's a
Fucking
phenomenal cover.
Look, if
Phenomenal cover.
Jeff touches Crypto, man, me and Jeff are gonna have some problems.
I'm serious. I'm on that timing hard. Look, I love Jeff, but dude, there's no way. And I'm telling y'all right now, Superman's gonna come out, and everybody's gonna be like, I'm really worried that Crypto's gonna get that Baby Yoda treatment. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
But-
he definitely is.
The thing is that like he's gonna look. Okay, guys, I don't know. Are y'all big Guardians of the Galaxy fans?
Yeah.
The movies.
Okay. Oh yeah. I've only seen the movies as well. All right. So I don't know if y'all are aware. James Gunn knows how to fucking write emotion when it comes to animals, whether it's
Yeah.
Cosmo, Rocket, fucking what was his name, Lila,
Yep.
Teefs, Floor, like all of them. Plus, if y'all watch Creature Commandos, he made me give a damn about Weasel, and I fucking cried on that Weasel episode. Okay.
Yeah.
I fucking cried.
Yeah.
Dude, Guardians 3, I'm sobbing. Okay, I'm gonna cry thinking about it. Okay, if
Real
fucking
shit.
Crypto dies, I'm telling y'all right now, I don't know
Crypto's
what the
not
fuck
gonna
I'm
die.
do.
I don't think they're gonna kill him off.
There's no way they're killing
Well, did
Crypto.
y'all see? Did y'all watch Creature Commandos?
Yes. Yeah.
Like half of it.
All right, did you see the apocalyptic future that was predicted?
Yeah.
Crypto is gonna fucking die. Okay. And I'm
That
going-
shit's not happening. That
Dude.
apocalyptic future is not happening. I'm calling it right now.
I think they're going to have an apocalypse war situation happen. Okay, I really do. And I'm telling you right now, if Crypto dies, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And Caleb is looking at me right now like, the fuck is this guy talking about? Like, who gives a damn? Dude, it's gonna be a hard time. All right, and look, all right, did y'all watch the new Superman trailer? Motherfucker ripped the helmet off of the guy so Superman could punch him in the face. That is the best boy ever to live. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
yeah. I never said I don't like Crypto. It's just the reading that didn't knock my socks off.
This fucking
So you
guy.
just
get
don't
this
like
fucking guy out of
Crypto.
here.
You just
Yeah, he just
don't
doesn't
like
rock with
Crypto is what
Crypto.
I'm hearing.
That's all I see. This is bullshit.
Yeah. I think if Jeff kills Crypto or Crypto even hurts him really bad, I'm gonna go buy a Jeff comic and I'm gonna set it on fire out back, man.
I think it's gonna be like a really cute, like they're just having a good day together type comic. I don't think it's gonna be anything like. I don't think they're gonna be fighting.
I don't want it to be cutesy. I do want a good fight or whatever. I want Crypto to win. So if Jeff
They'll probably team
Jeff
up and
wins,
fight someone else.
I could get
Well,
with that. Yeah.
I don't know how they're gonna do it for each run. I just know with the Deadpool and Batman one, there is a writer that is writing the DC side, and then they're also releasing another one shot of the Marvel side. So I assume they're gonna do that with every single one of them. And if that happens, one of the comics, it's probably going to show the DC side winning, and the other side is going to show the Marvel side winning. Or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Did everyone read Zatanna issue 5 this week?
I dropped.
I have not read any of that series.
I don't read any of
Bro,
it.
I read the
bro,
first
they
two and
just
dropped it.
they upgraded Zatanna so heavy in this run specifically. Do you want me to spoil it? Or, you guys gonna ever read it?
Go ahead.
I might. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, everybody else, go ahead. Go ahead.
Where I had to find the page real quick, but she can manipulate reality now and jump outside of the comic book pages.
Oh
no way.
Yeah, you follow her out of the page.
That
And
is
she
so
she
cool.
fourth wall breaks now too.
All right. I don't know about all that.
Interesting.
It's definitely cool that she can warp reality. That's really wicked.
Well, yeah, she was not able to do that shit before.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
But
like.
the art's fantastic in this shit too.
I appreciate because I think characters, especially characters that have been around for 40, 50 years, you have to give them something new for fans, right? So
Yeah.
I appreciate when that happens, but I'm not a fan when they completely change the character without some kind of something crazy could happen, like she dies or goes off world and gets trained or gets a different power from something. But like just starting a new series and then all of a sudden she has new powers or something without some kind of worldly change.
Oh, there's a bunch of shit going down to make her get those, to get those powers. You got to read it. I'm not trying to.
Well, I read the first.
Explain the whole series.
I think I read the first two, and I was just like, I'm falling asleep reading them, you know. So
it's definitely gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
On the topic of them upgrading characters, I know no one is keeping up with it, but can I talk about AVA for a second? All right. First off, y'all, look, I get it. The release cycle sucks, okay? Because I've been collecting this shit for like 4 months now, and I'm still like it's rough. And I started collecting it whenever issue 3 came out. I'm just now getting issue 4. I'm just gonna say you guys got to check this out. It doesn't. I'm gonna say it doesn't follow Alien canon. It follows Alien versus Predator canon. I'm not saying that Predator shows up. There's just certain things that happen in it that it applies to Alien versus Predator, not Alien. If y'all know the difference.
Gotcha.
Definitely when it comes up, there is one moment that happens in the first issue. Can I please talk about that? So in this universe, it's based in the future. Everybody's kind of older, but Miles is the main Spider-Man, and he has the symbiote, right? A face hugger goes to attach to him. The symbiote attacks the face hugger, fuses with it, and then it jumps onto Miles's body, and that creates the spider symbol.
I've seen that. That is the sickest thing I think I've ever seen in my entire life,
It's
and
so tough.
I need to read that.
Y'all got to check it out. That was my read of the week, especially because it kind of has a climax moment with the villain. Finally, it's been building up for 3 issues, and you finally got it. And there's still more issues to come. I don't know how long this series is going to go, but definitely when this trade comes out, I can't recommend it more.
Yeah, because I read probably 150 plus comics a month. So for something that's only releasing one every month and a half, every 2 months, I'm like, I'll just wait. Like, I'll try my best to dodge spoilers, but I have a TBI, so chances are I'm going to forget you talking about it anyways. And then when I go to read it, it's still going to be, I'm like, oh, I never knew this.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to spoil what happened in that issue, because a big thing happened in this issue that's really fucking cool. But again, if y'all are all reading, I'm not going to spoil that shit, because it was really cool for me.
Hey, Clearwater,
yes,
cheers.
sir.
Y'all are reading World's Finest, right?
I read volume 1.
Oh my, y'all.
Yeah, I have the trade. I have the trade queued up.
Everyone in here is missing actual peak.
I have the trade queued up to get it. Like, I have volume 1 through, I think, is it 6 that just got announced for like December or something like that? Yeah, so I have those queued up to buy on Amazon. I haven't yet. I still have like freaking probably 100 comics in my TBR and like 20 trades. So I'm like,
it's low key the most consistently best run on shelves every month. It's that shit, bro.
They swapped the artist from Dan Mora, didn't they?
Yeah, we got Gutierrez on it right now.
I really like Dan Mora's art.
But it still got Mark Waid on it, so.
Oh, really? It's still some writer.
Like there's
I really like volume 1.
If you guys have seen on my Nerd Shits video, he covered this. But there's a part in here where, see, you know how like Bruce is always trying to get at Lois, when they're like actual like Bruce and Clark, and not Batman and Superman. Bro, there's a whole scene in here where he's just trying to get at Lois, and fucking Clark is tripping out, and then fucking we get Batman Megazord.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, like there's an arc where Batman and Superman, they fuse together, like in like Dragon Ball when they do the fusion hot.
Seen that, yeah.
Yeah, that shit's peak. Robin in one arc, Dick Grayson Robin, he gets sent back in time.
Yeah,
he has to work in like the 1800s circus. That shit's peak.
Yeah, with the solving the murder situation.
Yep.
That's all during that run. That is like what, issue 40? That's all during that 40 issue run?
No. Oh yeah, it's all in the 40 issue run. That issue with Robin is issue 6, I believe.
Yeah, it's at the very beginning, because I read it in volume 1.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I plan on reading those.
There's a whole Kingdom Come arc too. So if you guys like Kingdom Come, I think it's like a 5-issue arc. And then you got the Imp arc, which is the best arc known to man.
Yeah, I
Honest.
I keep queuing up all these like big DC titles everybody's talking about, but again, Image has just been like stealing my paycheck from me every month, dude.
Yeah, so you need to not let Image do that and jump on to World's Finest.
You need to jump
That
into
is
Bug
that one.
Wars.
You just got to jump onto that one.
Yeah, you do need to jump on the Bug Wars. You need to read that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're already like, if, I can understand like people in your situation, right? Like you've been reading comics for a long ass time, so you're invested in Marvel and DC. So Image might not appeal to somebody that's been reading as long as y'all have. But like someone like me, I'm on month 3 of reading comic books. So like DC and Marvel have been around since like the 30s, 40s, so it's a lot of information to catch up on. And I am, every time, like you got me on Swamp Thing, and I got volume 2. I just haven't started reading it yet. And I'm reading the Nightwing, whoever the author is writing.
Tom Taylor.
Yeah, Tom Taylor. I'm reading that run. I'm on volume 2 right now. And like
So good.
There are ones that I'm like, taking time to go and read, but as far as my weekly reads, like when DC comes out with the number 1, like Crypto, Mr. Terrific, Aquaman, like all those that have come out since I started, I'm jumping on those. But the ones that are like 40, 50, I think Action Comics and Detective Comics, they're on like 1,000, like issue 1,000. I'm like, bro, I'm a completionist. It's hard for me to just, they're like, oh yeah, you can just jump in and on 1,051. I'm like, that's hard for me to do, like mentally.
On a completely separate topic, I found a comic in the dollar bin that I just wanted to show the cover. I haven't read it yet, but like, guys, look how tough this shit is.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
That is
it looks mirrored on my screen. Can you read what it says or no?
Yeah.
Spirit Vengeance Venom.
And Venom's holding Ghost Rider's skull.
Yeah, that's fire.
No, it's wicked. I just wanted to show. I found that in a dollar bin. Watchmen is my favorite. Like Tom Taylor's Nightwing was the comic I enjoyed the most, but Watchmen is my favorite. Absolute Martian Manhunter is probably my favorite in the series so far. I really like Absolute Superman too, though.
Superman and Wonder Woman are my 2 favorites.
I haven't even read Wonder Woman. I've read everything else but Wonder Woman.
Oh, you're
Yeah, Wonder
tripping.
Woman's probably the
Wonder
best
Woman's the best one.
Yeah.
That's what I keep hearing, man. I keep hearing that she's the best one.
Yeah,
Yeah, you might as well just go ahead and drop Green Lantern. That one's not going to be very good.
Dude, I'm loving it. I know they killed Guy Gardner.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
They killed Guy Gardner. They straight up, dude. They
That's why you
didn't
hate
even,
it.
For a
It
split
has
second,
nothing
dude.
to
He got
do with Guy
sliced
Gardner. It
in
has everything to do with we're wasting a whole issue on them trying to figure out why they can get a gold ring through the wall. Like, I don't care about that. Give me the fight between Joe and fucking Hal already. They've been edging me on that for 3 issues.
Yeah,
It looks good. I'm really enjoying it.
It's not a series for the impatient. We get it.
There was like
Yeah,
2
that's okay.
Well, like it's like 20 pages per issue, and this the third one or second one, I can't remember which one. There was like 2 pages dedicated to them talking about drinking coffee. And
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, like let's focus on the story. Hasn't even been set up yet. Let's focus on developing the story. Then you can waste our time.
I really like it. I also like the whole addition too of the Black Hand. That is so cool.
Yes.
I do think that stuff's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
But, like, isn't it only 6 issues?
All right, probably.
It's a limited run, right?
Probably.
Maybe.
I'm almost positive it is. So, like, we're 3 issues in and, like, nothing has happened. Like, really nothing has happened. Just Ab and
Martin
Sir
Booth showed
showed
up.
up and put
A lot
up
has
order,
happened.
and, like, that's it.
Dude, he sliced. Dude, he used those constructs to slice people up. What are you talking about, dude? He committed a mass murder right there on almost live TV. Nothing's happened.
That's what I'm saying. All he did was show up, and then that's it. Nothing else has happened. It just kind of time jumps to when everything was chill.
Yeah, that was
and they
like
were just trying to figure out how to live in the bubble.
that was
Maybe-
like
maybe
2
it's 'cause
pages.
maybe it's
We
Maybe
don't
it's
know
'cause you say
anything
you don't
about
want-
Abensur at all. Like, he just shows up and then judges people.
Yeah, we
Like,
really
we don't know anything about the Green Lantern Corps or what the Green Lanterns are at all.
Yeah, that's
We
Part of
don't
my
really
argument-
know what happened to Hal yet either.
we've got just
Yeah,
as much
so-
story development as we have them talking about drinking coffee.
Yeah.
You guys are tweaking.
It's killing
It's
me.
all leading up to like an absolute Justice League kind of thing.
Yeah, none of the
No.
stories are connected though, which is the thing. Like,
They're
No
not, but I'm
way,
like,
you
Jeff.
would
I'm
think
wondering if
everyone would
eventually it
know about.
will, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, there was something in Batman. Batman had an Omega Men graffiti. There was a wall that had Omega Men graffitied on it. So that's automatically tying that with Absolute Superman.
yeah, that's cool. But like, you would think everyone would be aware of what's going on in Martian Manhunter. Like, if
Yeah.
people are just like random things are like, you're just setting random people on fire and shit, and that's happening all over the world. You would think that's happening in Gotham and wherever Diana is.
Well, maybe only the invasion has started where Martian Manhunter is.
He said it was happening everywhere. So when I hear everywhere, I'm assuming it's everywhere.
Actually, everywhere. Maybe.
Yeah.
I just wish Absolute Batman would stay more on point of what Batman is. The last issue was really good, but Absolute Deathstroke, by the way, showed up just so we're all on the same page. Absolute Deathstroke made his appearance.
Did he?
For a split photograph. Yeah, give me a second.
And the twist is instead of Deathstroke being the predator, he's the victim this time.
Okay, all right now. Enough of that shit.
That's what makes him different.
Well, how old is Deathstroke in Absolute series?
All right, guys.
Oh, did y'all see
Assholes.
the Nightwing was mentioned in?
Yeah, he was
last
like
battle?
yeah.
Yeah, he was the
Yeah.
driver, right? The little golf
riding
cart.
the bike.
Yeah, or the
Yeah.
bike. Yeah.
Where did I put this comic?
Yeah, I got something that stood out. Everybody was like hyping it up, but the way Killer Croc looks on the little preview that we got, where he doesn't look like a crocodile in the water. He looks like a snake in the water. Like there's too many bends and spins in the elongated body. I'm like, that's not how a crocodile looks. Has anybody the person that drew that look at a crocodile before they drew it? It looks like an anaconda. It doesn't look like a crocodile.
Yeah, a little
See
bit.
here.
No, it looks like Godzilla.
Even Godzilla doesn't have that many like snake S's.
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
Absolute Deathstroke.
B-Solo, when are you gonna pick up Here There Be Aliens?
I forgot about that.
You mother.
I forgot. Dude, I've been reading so much. I've read like 8 comics today. You know what I mean? Like, I completely forgot about Here There Be Aliens. I don't even think my LCS carries it anymore. They had issue 1, but I haven't even seen anything about it. And I look at every new comic book that comes out there.
Hey, I'll be running my comic stores whatnot here shortly. Buy it off my whatnot.
Boom.
Also, did anybody else read Death of a Silver Surfer?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Very
What are
good.
you thinking on that?
It was awesome.
I'm rocking with
Do
it.
it.
Yeah, I wanted more Silver Surfer, and I mean, I liked it. I'm not complaining. I liked it, but it's my first time reading Silver Surfer, so for issue 1, I really wanted more of like who the Silver Surfer is. But I appreciate that they are developing a story, so there's going to be a lot that comes out in Silver Surfer because there's a lot that's going on in issue 1.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool.
The art is fantastic, along with the covers are beautiful.
Probably one of my favorite cover, or at least favorite A covers that's come out.
Oh,
It's
for
like-
sure. I think it has the best A covers that are out, for sure.
Yeah.
I like
I was looking at the variant.
Farrell's covers, Image.
Oh yeah, my buddy was telling me about Farrell the other day, man, and that is such a. Did you see the horror movie homage covers?
I have almost all of them. I've been trying to get.
Dude, they're
them
so
all.
cool,
Yeah.
so cool.
Wait, how long have all of y'all been reading comics for?
Just hit 2
Around
months.
2 months.
I started in October. Of
I started
last
in
year.
January.
January.
April 9th.
And then April 9th. And then what about you, Caleb?
April.
April? Yeah, okay. I started reading, April like this year? Oh, wow. Okay, so just a couple months. I started in I want to say August last year, so almost a year.
Oh,
That's dope.
so everybody here is relatively new then.
Relatively new, yeah. It feels like, and even though it's been a year almost, I'm I still feel like I haven't even scratched the surface of anything that I want to read, or all the ones that everyone tells you, oh, you got to read it. It's I haven't even touched that yet. I feel like there's so much more to read. So
Yeah,
I will say Blackest Night is the hype. Okay, everybody says Blackest Night's great. It is.
did you see my video yesterday?
I did not see your video yesterday.
Hold up.
Yeah, that's near the top of my list actually.
Blackest Night and Watchmen are the two that I've read so far that I'm like, yeah.
I'm just planning to order all of the Jeff
yeah.
Johns Green Lantern
I
run.
found this for $12.50.
Dog.
That's not bad at all.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a way of getting the tie-ins? Because the tie-ins also elevate the story a lot.
I have hold up, let me
Oh, look at White and Nerdy, dude. Look at this shit.
Isn't it? Yeah, we get it. You got a McKay's, bro. Jesus.
Oh. Dude.
I do have this, which I've already read, the Tales of the Cores,
Yeah, it's pretty good.
which it's all just the mini stories, but yeah.
Well, dude, like when I read it all digitally, and so I had all the tie-ins at my access like that. I could not imagine trying to collect it. But dog, there's like 100 tie-ins to go in with a story.
Yeah.
I just need the omnibus, I guess.
Yeah, the Omni has everything.
Yeah.
For the Blackest Night, y'all talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Is there only one Omni?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like every active issue in DC got a tie-in, and some of them were dog shit. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, I skipped the Brainiac Sun series. I can't remember what the series was called. There was 3 issues. All of it was bad. And
You
then
don't need to read the tie-ins. You really just need to
you don't
read
need them.
the main story, the Black Core tie-ins, the Green Lantern Corps tie-ins, and that's pretty much it. You don't really need to read like Blackest Night Flash.
I'm good with just this then, probably, right?
Yeah, what is that?
It's
just the
Blackest Night Saga.
Yeah. So like for me, we got like the OG, like this is just the Blackest Night story. And then I have the Green Lantern Corps Blackest Night.
Okay.
And then there's a Black Hand one and a Black Corps. And like those are like the only 4 you really need.
Yeah,
They're definitely the hype. They're definitely worth it. It's by far one of the best stories I've read.
Oh, for sure. But
I don't know if y'all did this when I first started reading comic books. Every time they would put like that little block at the bottom, like I'd be reading like a Batman comic, for instance, right? And at the bottom it would say like see Joker issue number 47 or something. I was always like, every time I'd see that, I'd write down like, okay, I need to read this. I read this, and like sometimes you'd read a comic like early 2000s Marvel was really bad about like one issue would have like 23 references in it, and I'm like, I can't afford to just read this comic and keep up with what's going on in the backstory. Like, it would drain my wallet per day. Like,
yeah.
Now, thanks for hanging out with us here for our first ever Panelist podcast. If you like this episode, please subscribe, maybe like and leave a comment, and we'll catch y'all next time.